Hey folks, just a quick update. I made a small change to my horoscope. I put a little paint marker on one side. I did it kind of sloppy, but it gives me an idea of which way is up, because when you're pushing it into something, and I guess it wouldn't matter if you were doing it in like a pipe to find a clog or something like that, but what I'm trying to look at here, I kind of want to see it in the right direction, so I'll try to put it in upright as I'm going in this hole. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue oiling this hinge or the latch down, but I'm going to be using the borescope at the same time to make sure that it's aiming in the right direction and wetting what I want it to wet. I don't want to get in there and find I filled up the manifold with PB Blast. So with that, I'm going to give this a little more oiling, and who knows, maybe I'll be able to get some recording of the thing actually getting blasted with PB. I kind of think that would be a cool view. Anyway, that's my quick update from me. Okay, so it was a big fail. When I had the borescope in there and I sprayed the can, it just whited the thing out, and it was just making a big cloud. So I think I have to be hitting it because I had the borescope pretty far in there. But that said, it didn't make a nice video. I figured I would yank off the wheel and have a look at the brakes, and boy, is this cherry. I mean, this stuff, it spins nice. Yeah, it's got a little hard spot there, but you know, that'll spin out. Little surface rust on here. I'm sure it'll turn right out. There's a little actually in here too. That's good. It falls out when you drive. That'll work fine. I'm sure these aren't frozen either. I mean, these are going to be perfect, you know. So, well, maybe a little WD-40 on there or something. So, anyway, the reason I've got this off right now is I want to take out the wheel well and see if I can't reach up there from over here somehow. Because this idea of putting a pick in there and forcing the thing to move, I think I have to get some pliers on it or something. So that said, let me start getting this thing out. Okay, I've worked on lots and lots of cars, never really much in the way of the Corvette. And I did have this one a little bit once back in 1991, but other than that, not much. So it looks to me like you can't take this out without causing damage, because it looks like it's actually part of the fender. So that is out. What I did notice though is that this thing gives me some access, and I'm thinking of going forward and possibly getting the hood latches. I got to investigate. I mean, that's dark in there even for me, so I know you can't see, but when I feel around in there, there's some bolts up in this direction here, and I'm hoping that you know, maybe that is the hinge for the hood. It seems to be in the right spot, and if I can get at least the two hinges off over here, I should be able to get the hood up enough that I'll be able to get a wrench on the other thing. Don't ask me why I talk and I'm not looking at the camera. I really should be. I'm still getting used to this. I am not a camera expert at all. I am, well, getting better at it, I hope. And try to get good angles on things. That's something I'm, you know, trying to get better at as well. But that said, I'm going to go now and use my favorite place, the internet, because it's where you can find these things. You know, have I think it's the Haynes manual for this thing. It's almost useless for stuff like I'm doing here. So that said, I'll be back after I look this up. Okay, headphone warning. This is what happens when you religiously put PB Blaster on things. I've been off for 35 years. What the heck is that? Is that put on here for protection or something? The I'll tell you, it doesn't seem to have worked. See, just as cherry as the other one. It's all good. But, what I figured out is, yes, I cannot just rip these off. I don't want to destroy anything on the car, so the wheel wells are kind of hands off. But there's this hole here that's, I guess, for the upper control arm to bounce up and down in. But I think my hand can get in there, and I'm hoping that I can reach forward enough to get to the hinge bolt there. So, wish me luck. Alright, forgive me if I get a little bit destructive, but I think these two bolts that are sticking out down here are what the hinge is bolting into. Just from what I've seen in pictures, like nobody seems to get this angle when I'm looking for it. I'm sure I'll see it soon while I'm looking at Corvette videos, but
it's not like I walk in there and
I think that if I take a cutoff wheel or even a Sawzall, and I'll get a cutoff wheel. Sawzalls are a little messy, but I will cut those off, and then what I believe is, see, because I'll go straight up here and I'll show you where these things are. They're like right here. So I would imagine that's where the hood hinge is, because I know that it dips down in the front when you open it, and you can have access to like the back of the headlights and whatnot. So hopefully I'll do this, and let's go around to the other side and see if it's there. I didn't even look. I don't know. I was thinking this was going to be somehow easier than it has been. Yeah, this side has those too. And I mean, this isn't really a real thick thing, but it's I think it's good enough to hold down a hood, right? I mean, yep, I'm gonna do it. I'll do it on one side and see. And if it doesn't work on one side, I'm not gonna destroy both sides. But it's just gonna cost me a couple of bolts. Alright, here goes nothing. I'm using my Dremel. Checking my bit, doesn't look too terrible. And then, unfortunately, my kid hid my safety goggles, so I've got to wear glasses, but they're tinted, and it kind of sucks for this because I can't see a darn thing in here. It kind of looks like I'm getting close, but I'm not even flush. So I think what would be better maybe is if I just tried hammer and chisel, but then I'm afraid I'm going to damage something. It's just like fiberglass everywhere. I don't want to smash anything. These are really, really rusty though. I'm afraid if I break them off, it's going to break off the stud and not the nut. These are probably captured nuts. I can't tell if they're like brazed onto here or not. But that said, back to doing a little grinding, I think. Thought something was wrong. The middle chopped out of this one. So that one's done. Anyway, let me finish this up, and I'll be back to see if it works. Everything I think I see is just a lot of rust for me. Okay, took some time, but I finally got it, so it just came off, and I was right, that was the hinge. So, looking at this hinge, it looks like I'm going to be replacing a hinge, because it looks terrible. Really, really hoping that the engine doesn't all look like this, and you know, I don't have to find that the block is too darn rusty to even bore, you know, because that would really stink. So I've seen things on Copart that were easy to fix than this one. Anywho, off to the other side, because I think if I get 2 of these off, I should be able to get the hood up enough that I'll be able to get that latch out. What a nightmare. Okay, so now I've popped all 4 of those bolts. Of course I forgot, but on the driver's side is where the like the hood stay is, so I think I'm gonna have to get that off too, because that's as far as I can get that side up at the moment. But something else I noted, even if I got the latch undone, I'm not sure I could have popped it all, because these are solid. I mean, this thing will not move. And I couldn't reach that to oil it even. I wasn't even sure exactly where it was, you know, but so yeah, I think this was the only way I had to go. Okay, so I got this side up a little bit. It's well, yeah, I'm replacing that. Actually, I think I'm going to replace almost everything. That's the thing with this car. I don't even think it was a good parts car, except for maybe the body panels. But we'll see. You know, I guess it's a good thing I'm going to build it, because that'll make it into a car rather than a parts car even. So now I have to try to find a way of getting back that way to get that. I do now understand. Some guy had a hood opening thing, and he showed a picture of a Corvette that had 3 holes in it, or 4 holes in it. 2 in the front and then 2 up in the back by the latches. What I am thinking is he had it like this. It was solid rust here, and then these were solid rust in the back here. He probably had both closed, and I'll bet you that he cut those holes first and got the latches off, and then went, hey, it still won't open, because it was like this, solid rust down here, and you can't like reach it with oil or anything, and I don't know if oil would really help that. So I bet you that's why then he cut these out, and you know, took a funny picture, because I can empathize with him. But I went the other way. I went from the bottom, so I just now have to figure out how I'm going to get that latch off, and the hood will be finally free, and I can use a borescope where I really want to use it, which is down in the cylinders. I'm dying to see if I can, you know, pour a little gas in the carb and see if this thing will start. Okay, so we are now in the home stretch. I can actually see, I don't know if you can, I tried to set up a light, but the latch is on the far side here. I think I can actually jack this up a little bit higher than it is, and then I should be able to get across with like a set of bolt cutters and just cut the latch thing, because the stuff is literally so rusty. I got one off, one hinge, because I didn't want it to cut things up, but I left it over here. It poured just for a couple of minutes, of course, while I'm trying to work. But this thing is beyond saving. I mean, check this out. All right, I am 180 pounds. I can't make it move. So if we did get the latch open, it still would have destroyed the hood if I tried to yank it open. So I'm really glad I went this route. Okay, so for my first look in the engine compartment, yeah, there's definitely a little rust. So let's make bets. Will this thing turn? Or am I going to be SOL? And then getting over there to that far side there, you might be able to see it now, especially if I do this. There's that bar. What I'm thinking of doing is finding a way of cutting that bar, and then it should somehow come off. I might have to cut the bar on both sides, but the other idea is maybe, just maybe, I can get a wrench on there. Maybe I'll try that first. But I am going to win. This thing's going to come off, and the hood's not going to have holes cut in it. It's crazy. But I guess if I had a shop and it was a body shop or something like that, it would have been faster just to cut holes and patch them back up. Okay, so today was a pretty darn good day. I've got the hood in a position where in the next video it will be off. And at that point I will almost instantaneously, well, I'm going to clean up the engine a little bit first, but then I'm going to pull out a few spark plugs and stick the borescope down inside of there so we can see if this motor's got to come out or if I can just simply clean it up and you know, do some oil and fuel and boom, away we go. Other than that, I'd like to say thank you to those people who have started subscribing. I know I just started doing videos, and I just I've got no less than 7 more cars that I need to do. I don't think any of them are as crazy as this, but I have 67 Camaro RSSS. I've got my 81 Trans Am with the mini tub, and that's getting an LS engine in it. There's just you know, a ton of stuff I've got to take care of, and I think it'll be great for the web. And some of this stuff I know a heck of a lot better than I do the Corvette. Although I think you can probably tell already, I don't give up. So there's that. And if you want to come along for the ride, I'm perfectly happy to do so. If anybody's got questions, please let me know. Comment. Liking videos would be great. I hadn't seen any, but that's okay. Or I think I have one. it's kind of, maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. Anyway, the next video, I promise, is going to be a good one, so don't miss it, okay? Cam Bam's out.